It's Sunday, June 12th, and got word back from Rands that that change I did on that is fine. They said that's okay to go ahead and use that dash 11 with those thick washers. So that's got everything good to go there. So I think we'll get this finished up. We have to adjust this so that we've got our control sticks are parallel, and then we'll lock it down with a lock nut and Loctite on there. So we'll get started on that and see if we can get those control wires fished down through the handle there. So, yep. All right, got this adjusted, this cross-link tube adjusted here so that both control sticks are parallel. And I measured that distance between this pivot here and there is 19 inches. So I just kept adjusting this end swivel here in so that it would swing these out. And I swung those out to adjusted those out to 19 inches on center, and then also used the digital protractor and held it straight up and down and checked the angle there. We had 90 degrees here, and I was like within like 0.1 degree. I think it was actually it was like 89.7, and this is like 89.6. So they're about as close as I'm going to get them. And when I was checking these, I just used a plain nut on that instead of this nut. So once I got that adjusted out, then we'll replace it with this nut. Got our cotter pin inserted here, and one thing that you got to do is when you pull it up over the top, just make sure that it doesn't exceed the diameter of the bolt, and then when you bend down the bottom, trim it off so that it's not coming in contact with the washer. So it shouldn't go down far enough to contact the washer, but enough to be on the side of come down on the side of the bolt. So when we did the first test fit of this, I found that the book calls for the bolt and then this washer, that large washer, then through the rod end. And it calls for 2 thick washers here, and then through this lower hole, then another thick washer and a shear nut. What we found was with that stack, I couldn't even get the end of the bolt protruding through the end of the shear, or through the shear nut. And you have to have at least one thread showing. That's the minimum that you have to have showing on a shear nut like this. So what I ended up doing was removed one of the thick washers from this stack, so there's just one washer in there now, and then put that in, and then they did a thin washer on top of that instead of a thick washer, and that gave us our thread showing. get it just to the point where it's going to start snugging down, then I'll use a torque on it, torque wrench. That's going to go to 40 inch-pounds right there. So now we've got a thread showing on this bolt, which is, that's good. This shear nut goes to, it goes to between 30 and 40 inch-pounds of torque. And there is a drag on this from that insert, the nylon insert that's in there, or plastic, whatever that is. I've measured it before. I think it's about, usually it seems to be right around 5 inch-pounds. So I set my torque wrench to 40 inch-pounds, so that'll give us actually 35 inch-pounds of torque on this. So let's see how close I am. It's pretty snug on there when I snugged it down with the wrench, with the socket wrench. So we'll see if how much more we got to go for this. Right there. Took about another 1/8 of a turn. Kind of a dreary day today. It's rainy. Supposed to be getting some thunderstorms this afternoon, possibly, but I've got yet another piping gig this afternoon, so hopefully it maybe lets up a little bit and we'll have some good weather for that. It's just a short one, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see. Well, we're done for today. We did get that cross tube, cross link done there. I didn't put any torque seal on that yet. I'm going to wait till we get that all installed. That'll be the last thing I do. We'll get that marked up on there. And we did get the set screw holes put in the handles for the grips, and got those threaded for a 440 screw that goes in there. We started working on the grips, getting those fit up, and did have to trim back this inner piece here just a little bit. It was a little bit long, so we had to trim that a little bit. We got those ready to go. Almost put the grips on upside down. The fat end goes on the bottom, and had it upside down on the tube that already had the hole in. But that's all right. We got that resolved, and we didn't get it that far yet. But the next thing we're going to be doing is fishing the wiring through the tube there, and we kind of did a little trial run on it earlier, and the avionics shop sent those controls over, that 4-button control over, with, it's not in the Molex connector, but the pins are crimped in, and I don't think we're going to be able to get that through that hole in the stick. So I might have to snip those off. We might have to re-crimp the ends on that. So we'll see when we get there if that's the case. And if that's the case, well, that's what we'll do. So, well, yeah, I think that's about it for now. Anything to add? No, nothing from you? Okay, hey, thanks for watching. Have a good evening, and that's it for now.